Hi, this is Dr. Rodger Murphree. In today's fibromyalgia health tip, I'd like to share some information about understanding fibromyalgia. And I'd like you to imagine what it would be like to have the flu from hell and to wake up every day, every muscle, every bone, every joint, every fiber in your body ached from the time you woke up till the time you went to bed. Imagine the worst case of the flu that you've ever had. Remember the exhaustion that you felt, the fatigue that you had. For many of you, you've gone through this. You know what the flu's like. And this is what it's like to have fibromyalgia, where you wake up in pain on a daily basis. Your energy is so low that oftentimes you can't get out of bed. The days that you do get out of bed, you struggle to get through the day, to do the little things that most people take for granted, whether that's cleaning the house, going to work, picking up the kids at school, doing the things that most people are do and don't think anything about it. But when you have the flu from hell, you know that you don't feel like doing anything. You're just trying to survive, trying to get through another day. Everything hurts. Your head hurts, your shoulders hurt, your neck hurts. You're exhausted, but you try to get some sleep and you can't sleep. And then you wake up the next day and it's the same thing the next day. You're in pain again and you have no energy. Now, for those of you who don't have fibromyalgia, you're able to get over the flu eventually after 2-3 days, maybe 4 days at the most. You're able to get back to normal. But for those with fibromyalgia, there is no normal. There are good days and there are bad days, but there is no normal. This is something that people have, and it's very much real. And so if you're a spouse and you're watching this, then I want to share with you that your spouse, they really don't need your sympathy or your empathy, but they do need your understanding. This is very much a real disease. They need to be understood that there are going to be some days that they can't get out of bed. There are going to be some days where when the weather changes, they're going to have a flare-up. If you are a friend of someone who has fibromyalgia, they're not faking it. They have a real illness. And yes, there are going to be some days where they're going to make plans to do something with you and they're not going to be able to follow through. They're not flakes. They have fibromyalgia, and they're going to have good days and they're going to have bad days. If you're a doctor who doesn't believe in fibromyalgia, and there are many doctors who still don't believe in fibromyalgia, shame on you. I would encourage you to walk 20 steps in the shoes of my patients who have fibromyalgia and see that this is very much a real illness. No one would fake having fibromyalgia. No one would fake having brain fog where you can't complete a sentence because you forget what you're saying mid-sentence. No one would suffer night after night, not being able to go into deep restorative sleep, feeling exhausted the next day, even tighter than you did the day before. No one would go through life knowing that they are probably depressed and have anxiety, have low moods because this illness has beat it out of them. No one would choose that. You can't fake that. No one would go through life with restless leg syndrome and irritable bowel and all the things that go along with fibromyalgia. You don't fake that. If you're a doctor who does believe in fibromyalgia, but all you know to do is to give more and more drugs, which is a dead end, then I would encourage you to read my book, Treating and Beating Fibromyalgia and Chronic Fatigue Syndrome. You obviously believe in fibromyalgia, but you don't know how to treat it, at least not effectively. If you're someone who does have fibromyalgia, then I would encourage you to join me each and every Tuesday night to hear protocols that I've developed over the last 20 years that help my patients get a good night's sleep, that help my patients drastically reduce their pain, boost their energy, and oftentimes eliminate their irritable bowel and restless leg syndrome, as well as migraine headaches and low moods. I encourage you to join me on a Tuesday night call, and you can learn more about these Tuesday night calls at endfibrownow.com. This is Dr. Rodger Murphree, yourfibrodoctor.com, author of Treating and Beating Fibromyalgia and Chronic Fatigue Syndrome, I hope I'll get the opportunity to take some of your questions or interact with you on an upcoming Tuesday night Treating and Beating Fibromyalgia teleconference.